get into draft, and the first two picks come in almost exactly the same as the previous game.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Yikes Viego is borderline unbeatable. It's 5-1 if I'm remembering correctly, so I like this. They GamersOrigin ban away very key picks here in the Thresh, in the Gwen, in the Zeri. Thank you, finally.
Yeah.
And now they're just going to go ahead and take away the Viego as well. But the answer is there. Yike is also quite good on these other early game junglers as well. We talk about how strong of an early game player he is and how good he is at enabling his laners. And when you have such strong laners, especially when you look at Ragnar in the top lane and how well he has been playing, I think Viego's or Xin Zhao is perfect for him.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because I believe when the first just 4 or 5 wins that LDLC actually had, it was on Yikes Viego. So just straight up, and the one time they lost in Nice, in fact, was when he was not on the Viego for the first time. So it was it was really, really fun. Gio on the other end of the response will be in Defelius, will be the Jhin. I like this Jhin a lot. I find Smiley, this is one of the particular champions. It's what we've seen him look the absolute best on. And last time they met, I believe in week 2, he popped off on it.
He did, and I think Smiley, just the fact that he's so good on this pick, it's because he does a really good job of setting up the rest of his team. When we look at the stats, his kill participation is absurdly high compared to other 80 carries, and you may look like, if you just look at the stats, that okay, they're playing to him a lot, but it's more that he is very involved outside of the laning phase in a lot of these team fights, and it's because most of the time when he's playing this Jhin, he does an excellent setup, catching people out with the Deadly Flourish, opening things up with the Curtain Call, so that's why it ends up being a really nice pick there overall. And looking at some of these bans too, I like it from both sides. You're banning away these tops that offer a lot of engage, because I mean realistically, even though Leona, Rakan are good for it, I think if you're trying to get a more solid front to back here with some of these 80 carries, just getting rid of things like the, Gnar is another good example. You just want to take those off the board.
And from LDLC, I imagine this next ban should be the Ornn, as well as we know Chachi looks very, very good on it. Instead, they take away the Akali, which we've seen Ronaldo play before.
Yes, that's
so the response will be the Ornn for Visit Chachi. There we go.
Perfect.
He finally gets it up for himself.
No, that's what we want to see too, because honestly, we were talking about how, when we were watching yesterday, where did Ornn go? What happened to him? He's still incredibly strong. Nothing's changed with him on the 12-3 patch, so it's nice to see that he is coming back. You still have this incredible long-range engage, and it's a great setup with things like the Curtain Call too. You got to imagine in the mid lane, they aren't going to do anything too fancy as well. I expect GamersOrigin, if they want to go like full standard, just put Ronaldo on something like the Orianna or something like that. But a lot of mid laners are available. You could go the full scaling route if you want to as well, and pick something like the Victor.
Speaking of which, the Victor is up right now, so is Syndra and Vex, which both of these picks we see is very, very popular. Instead, like you were mentioning, the standard pick for Ronaldo will instead be picked up by Ica, the Orianna for themselves. A fair amount of ball delivery systems, especially with the Rakan pick, which in fact they did pick last time as well, that they faced up against GamersOrigin, and Das was a fiend on it, going in and out, animal style as they say, for in and out.
Yeah, picking the Orianna for Aka, I think, is partially a takeaway. I think you don't want to give away Orianna to GamersOrigin, so at this point, they're actually going to go with the LeBlanc instead. So it makes a lot of sense, too, just because you have Karim on this Viego, who's going to be looking to get reset, and we've seen in other regions of play, when you draft these reset comps with no burst damage, that's when you start to run into a lot of issues here. But there is no shortage of that on GamersOrigin's side. They have this very clear front to back, and they also have plenty of team fight tools available here. You said it, Das was lighting it up on the Rakan last time, and I'm looking to Ragnar, who, I've said this on Beyond the Nexus, I think this dude is probably the best top in the league, not because he's flashy, not because he's always solo killing enemy laners, but just because of the fact that he is so consistently high performing on so many different picks, and it allows the flexibility. It allows LDLC to be as flexible as we've seen them with these drafts. And now we're seeing the first time Aatrox come through with him. Should be able to get a lot of lane dominance into this Ornn early on. And that could be something LDLC look to play towards here. You snowball this Aatrox. Well, he's happy for GamersOrigin to walk into him.
Oh, he is ecstatic beatdown, because last time too, we saw him bring out the Urgot for the first time, and they managed to snowball him. He got a free lane, and suddenly he became one of the waves that LDLC consistently managed to make sure that GamersOrigin were able to 5v5 all the time. And this is interesting. This leads to exactly what you were saying before. Yike is getting the double leash from bot lane, which means he wants to straight up run it down to the top and make sure that Vizichachi cannot execute the Chachi carry on his signature Ornn pick. In fact, you know, this Aatrox is going to be disgustingly ahead, and when that happens, I mean, LDLC can set up another split push where now he gets so strong he can 1v3, and GamersOrigin are out of luck, but we're still in the first 2 minutes of the game, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm wondering actually, now that you bring that up, if we're going to see the Hullbreaker Rush also come out here, because we saw it on Bad Lulu with the Mundo.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't like it there,
Nope.
but I could see it here if the build just ends up being something like, you could still go Gore Drinker, but you'd end up going like, what, Hullbreaker, Titanic Hydra. I feel like you'd have a lot of DPS if you end up doing something along those lines, but we'll have to see. Either way, Ragnar, like you said, he's going to have a lot of split push options. You can see him already getting his push on the top side of the map. And once Yike, who we talk about as being one of the best early game junglers, I want to see him after getting this level 3, maybe go towards that top side of the map. You can already see this wave starting to stack. Vizicachi is looking very diveable.
Oh. He's looking submissive and diveable.
I didn't want to say it, you know? I thought about it.
I mean, I'm about it, and so is Yike. Yike is about that life as he spots Green KT. It'll be simply just a trade of flashes from both of these junglers, where Ronaldo also takes out his. So LDLC coming out on top in a small victory so far.
It is definitely small, especially because it's the LeBlanc, but we're early on. You see that distortion come through, and the Yike happens to be nearby. It's like, oh, word? I
mean, Execute, though, that's the second time he uses his later on, but nice. Smiley forces that trade, so suddenly now he has to stay safe. Heal and Flash are still up, but now I'm sure Execute and DOS are thinking with the right guns, they do have kill threat, considering they do have Ignite.
Right, and it's worth noting too, I mean, Ronaldo's doing a good job in this mid lane so far. I mean, you pick Orianna just because it's like a standard matchup. If you are proficient on this LeBlanc pick, you will be winning it out. Oh, hold on, double knock up.
I was saying they had kill threat with the right guns. There's that gravitum, and one more shot. There we go with the burn him as he burns him alive.
Oh, and I like that they're backing off because they know Ronaldo is away from mid lane, and they're just going to immediately back off and not try to take out Enjaway. And it's perfect. First blood for Exakick. You know that this Viego is there. They tried to stop the back, but they didn't actually get the opportunity. But ultimately, this is still a pretty positive play going for the bot lane of LDLC. Exakick's going to be a big damage dealer later into the game, so being able to get him this extra gold early on, winning out in the 2v2 is extremely important. Oh yeah,
because like you're saying, you know, they do love playing a lot around these 5v5s in the later stages of the game, and having your Aphelios be ahead is a crucial point of that, like you were mentioning. But right now, the XK is going to be able to just farm up and have a pretty solid time in this lane. One person who may not is Ragnar. He has a flash up, he gets stunned, flashes out, and pops the bone plating. So Summoner's Blow, as Cream KT makes it top side first.
It's going to be tough. I mean, we saw after that play going through, Yike full clears, and then he goes for the reset. So looking like wanting to play a little more towards this bottom side of the map. And Ragnar does end up getting punished for it in a way, because now he's low HP. He doesn't want to back just yet, because even with the TP, not being able to TP to the minions means he's going to lose out on a good amount of XP, but I think now he's getting zoned off. He realizes he's just going to have to let this one go. Instead, we have Yike going for the Raptor invade here, and he might be able to catch Kareem in the process. We already see DOS on the move being matched by Enjaway. We might actually see an early skirmish go through. No level 6 for Aka, so no shockwave yet.
Not right now, but we're seeing there are a lot of, we were mentioning in draft, there are a lot of opportunities for then be able to land the shockwave with the ball delivery systems that are currently present. It's almost as though he has Amazon Prime on his side. It's one-day delivery. As both teams look towards bot side, Dragon is up, but XK is by himself, no flash on him either. But bot side simply roaming down. They're aware of each other's presence, but junglers as well, already down to the bot lane. Neither of them level 6 either, so they continue to farm up. No one right now wants to take a fight, especially LDLC.
No, I mean, they're at a point where they can look for one very, very soon, just because Aka is level 5, getting close to that level 6. And once the shockwave's there, your early team fighting is going to look pretty nice. So that's something LDLC could look for, but right now it's about the 2v2.
Yes, it is. As that action has continued forward, but look who's here to support. That's Kareem KT as he puts down this little fog as Yike has been able to master. You're mentioning how both junglers were here, and both are just exerting their presence, making sure that the 2v2 doesn't go wary for either side.
Oh, Yike, he can go for this 1v1 if he wants to, especially with how low his Kareem's bot lane is. There isn't too much they're going to be able to do. He doesn't get to steal the Gromp away from him, but he's going to get the scuttle. Wow, DOS, I respect that, but you're not going to find what you're looking for. You have a window now where you can go for the dragon, but if Aka recalls, actually, you're not going to have the opportunity.
No, not at all. And I believe they don't actually know that Cream KT has recall out of this either. So we do see that Yike is just staying bot side in case he does come back. It's a landed knock up, a double
He
one.
just keeps getting them.
One after the next. We were saying how in the previous game, DOS was a fiend on this Rakan. And we haven't seen a ton of Rakans in the league in general, but DOS putting up a masterclass for what everybody else should be doing.
I believe this is the third game we're seeing here of the Rakan, and yeah, DOS being one of the ones who played it before, played it very, very well, is doing so yet again. Now, things have slowed down quite a bit, and actually, Ragnar is the one who is under threat. Ronaldo's at this point where he is getting so much lane prior onto Aka, and it's giving him so many opportunities to push and roam like you want to see on the LeBlanc. But with how quickly Ragnar is clearing the wave, they're looking like they don't actually want to do it. It's just going to be about setup for this Rift Herald and potentially punishing Ragnar if they catch it.
Yeah, the vision's not there right now for LDLC, so they be walking into the dark and knowing that as well. The bot lane reset, so they have a small window of opportunity to see if the Geo wants to try to make a play mid, but as they just roam around there, Angewave not able to find anything. The wave at a pretty neutral state, so they decide to forego any of the opportunities as they move towards bot side. No junglers there either. It's going to be a very late dragon, and I think no team really wants dragon stack creeping down. They're just chilling.
At the moment, yeah, they're neither interested. It is all about that first Rift Herald, being able to secure yourself turret plays, and maybe a turret depending on the situation here. But now the real question is the situation in this mid lane. Kareem is looking for a play, and it's worth noting he's behind a good amount of farm just because of the fact that Exakick and DOS have been running that bot 2v2. He's been spending a lot of time trying to protect his team. Oh no.
He's fine. Puts on the Crescent Guard. It's a big cooldown down. Instead, there's a second oh no as well. As they get down one, it'll be the trade and going over to Ronaldo. So both mid laners are at least getting one kill.
Right, and I don't know about going in on this.
This might be a little bit tough, as DOS might have overestimated their abilities right now. Ica has tried to run away, but he's isolated over the wall. Unfortunate.
I don't like that play coming out from LDLC, I'm not going to lie. You know mid-jungle are in your top-side jungle. How reliably do you think you're going to be able to kill a level 5 Leona between Rakan and Orianna? I wasn't very confident when they went in, and it clearly ended up showing. Look at all that CS that is being lost here. It's, I think, 2 waves, cannon minion as well. Aka lost a lot of golden experience because of that, and it's really going to be punishing because of the fact that Ronaldo is already so very good on these assassin picks, whether it's the Akali, whether it's the LeBlanc, things like the Zoe, where you can just blow people up, and he's been doing great in this matchup so far, affecting other lanes, being on the move, falling more behind, even though you'll always have Shockwave to play for as Aka, is still going to hurt your team a lot.
Speaking of which, Aka does manage to get back in time, just trying to mirror Yike as all the points are not out yet, instead topside yet again. Okay, Zeal's landing onto DOS, but Swally trades a little bit of health. Instead, he'll also to pop his flash. And the 2v2 skirmishes continue to happen bot side beat down. Meanwhile, the top side of the map, I find right now very much in Geo's control. Considering Korean KT did get forced off the Rift Herald, but for now they still do maintain vision here. As Ragnar is having a decent time in lane, but he is decently even. Vizichachi is actually up in farm. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he's been playing this matchup really, really well so far. The Kareem attention has been also very helpful, and it's looking like it's going to continue here. Or he's just escorting this top wave.
Oh, yeah.
The thing, too, is that this is, even though this bot lane 2v2 is going very well for Exakick and DOS, which you love as the Aphelios, Smiley falling behind isn't, unless he's getting, like, absolutely dumpstered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking 40, okay, 30 CS is a lot. But my point is, he still has options to help the team. Like, with the curtain call, you see the damage the rest of the map have, and it's honestly quite good in a lot of these skirmishes here. So, GamersOrigin, not in the worst of spots right now, just maybe not looking for these full 5v5s at the moment here.
But they might be getting a full 4v4 instead.
Here.
The Call of the Forge God. Knock up at the nobody, but there's a sniper we're talking about.
Massive
knock up by Vizichachi! And he takes the double. Yike will also die. Give him the triple, baby. We'll go over to Ronaldo as he gets the first pop of the game. What was that?
We talk about how GamersOrigin end up getting read by the enemy team more often than not, but this time they're the ones doing the reading, and they read LDLC like the morning paper, like a walkthrough after you failed the dungeon 57 times. They know that this bot lane play is happening, and look at it. Vizichachi off reset just moves to this bottom lane, and you can see LDLC, they feel confident until they hear the Forge God's call.
We were saying that would happen, and look at that. They're grouped up against the wall. You would think you would think he was a support with the way he got all that CC down, bro. I want to see what kind of stats he has at the end of the game in terms of just champion lockdown score. That was disgusting, which is why we also praise these picks of Vizicachi. He's been so good on these tanks.
That's right.
Which is why they never let him get the Ornn. He draws 3 bans minimum in every single game he's in, and you just couldn't do it. Could you, LDLC?
No, it's unfortunate, and that pay is going to really set back LDLC. The gold is still in their favor a little bit. A lot of that from the lead that Execute's gotten in the bottom lane and all the turret plates we're seeing him get. But this is still 3-0 for Ronaldo on this LeBlanc. He's very accelerated, and this point is that we talk about assassins and back and front line bypass, and LeBlanc is another one of those champions. Ronaldo being so strong and so fed right now means Execute is in a lot of trouble. No flash, no cleanse too, which means these next couple of minutes he's going to have to keep looking over his shoulder as Ronaldo keeps walking around with a sign with his face on it.
Every single time walking up to
Have you seen this man?
I mean, he's asking every creep, bro.
Yeah.
He's making sure that, like, every Candy Mini knows that, like, if you see him, just tell him I'm looking for him.
I wish I could draw. I would draw that.
Oh, it'd be so funny.
It would be.
Oh, man, it'd be phenomenal. But I think another thing that isn't as funny is just how Geo might have the potential to extend this lead.
It's funny if you're a Geo fan.
You're right. It's exactly. It's hilarious if you're thinking, and if you're LDLC, you're not laughing at the joke.
No.
You don't find this funny at all. Because if you look at last time they met, Geo wasn't exactly able to capitalize on the leads much, right? Early game went beautifully for themselves.
Yeah.
I would dare say dunked on LDLC,
6K
but
is dunked.
Exactly, 100%. They got the first 3 dragons. They had the first Baron,
Yeah.
and then suddenly Ragnar got too strong. They couldn't do anything. They're fighting weird chokes, and as the goal shifted back and forth, LDLC, by the grace of some god, won.
It really feels that way when you watch them play some of these team fights. It's a really good point you bring up there, and that's why we can't count them out yet, especially because, I mean, realistically, if we look at the gold, they're even as much. Hold on.
That was a fun interaction, but that's one more uninteractive thing that we see Yike has to look into. Unfortunate, it's a free jungle pick, but the question is, what do they do off of this? Answer, maybe push top.
They could push top. They could move in for this mid play if they really wanted to. Ronaldo's going in.
The shot was not going to land. Actually forced it to flash from him, the TP down as well. And then they got one more TP from Vizicachi. He doesn't have to call the Forge God, though. Chunks to half his health.
He doesn't need it.
He does another knock-up, because look on the back, and he gets Exit Kick, and that allows Engine Wave to move in. That is a 1 for 3, technically. By the end of it, as Yike just comes back alive.
And we're starting to really see why these team fights are going to go in favor of GamersOrigin. Just the fact that when you have these picks with a champ like Viego and Kareem, who's catching himself back up in this game in terms of farm, in terms of kills and everything, it only takes 1 kill. Ronaldo's able to blow somebody up. They all start falling like dominoes, and that's what we're playing for here. You have things like the curtain call. You have Enjoy who's finding these beautiful engages. Means that you're going to get that pick you need to continue to reset here, and you're going to see it in this replay. The fact is Doss is being chased. I think he ended up flashing over the wall. He did, and it just gave so many opportunities for this TP to come through, for this great knockup from Vizicachi, and again, it only takes 1.
It's, I believe, as Linkin Park says, it starts with 1 be done. But there's one thing that I actually don't know why, is how they keep getting caught up in these knockups over and over again. As we'll see back into some more Geo Gaming. Beautiful solo flare. Knocked out by the Crescent Guard, but they'll survive for a couple more seconds. Yike doesn't die, and Vizicachi does. I'm beginning to get flashbacks.
It's already beginning. This is how they do it, man. LDLC, they lose in the early game. They start mind controlling, saying like, oh, you will throw this next fight. You will run it in this next fight. To be fair, we came back at a weird time, so we didn't see how it actually went through. But still, LDLC, when they're behind, they always find these weird angles, these picks that end up getting them all these advantages. And it's worth noting, like, you're still seeing Exakick pick up so much gold, so much XP here, as he's been mostly untouched for a lot of this game, but that might change.
Fun stat of Exakick as well. He is number 5 on the list for the most kills within the LFL, and maybe continue with that to get to number 4. And it is beautifully well done. The CC chain, they get Engine Wave, and now they have the opportunity to push forward for top tier 2, as all of them are there.
So many people committed, and even though Exekick wasn't part of the actual fight, he gets the solo local goal from the turret, and knock
up onto Yike, but
no Crescent Guard.
Crescent Guard up, like you said, and There's the second, forcing out the flash. Gio want to go for this, but the chains don't
Oh, not the second one.
The second one's due. There we go. They'll get him yet again. Yike can force you a bit too far forward.
Yeah, and Yike has been getting caught a lot this game.
Yeah.
4 deaths here, and to be fair, it's because of GamersOrigin. Like, they're finding these great picks. Ronaldo has been playing fantastic so far on this LeBlanc, and it's hard to imagine them. It's hard to imagine a repeat of last time. GamersOrigin, you know, they've improved, Ravi. They've been
that's
better
what we
since
thought
week
last
2.
time, though, Peter.
No, but it's okay. You know, you're right. That is exactly what we thought last time. But this time might be a little different here. They get the second Rift Herald. They're going to be able to break open that mid-tier 1 turret after this recall coming through. Yeah, the dragon stacking is not going to be a thing this game because we got like a 15-minute first dragon. But ultimately, Dragon Soul is not going to be a thing for anybody because of the delay. You can just continue snowballing off of a lot of these early kills as long as, because look at where the damage is. It's on Ronaldo, it's on Kareem. They are so far ahead at the moment here. The lead Exekick has doesn't really matter right now because, again, the front line bypass. That is Ronaldo that says, hey, you have tanks. That's cool. What if I said I don't care?
It seems as though you have a front line set up. What if I just skip the line? You had to get Ronaldo, also got the Disney
Fast Pass. It's just, it strikes again.
It's just so good, but these guys are so rich. What must that be like? But
yeah, right. Should we be players?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, speaking of being rich, though, because you see most of that gold is also concentrated into Kareem KT and Ronaldo as well, as he got one of the biggest kill shares. And I wanted to bring up a point about Kareem KT, as we praised him a lot as stepping up, as being one of the biggest players on GO, especially coming from week 2 all the way now to week 6, right? He's made so many proactive plays, the Lee Sin, he's at a big number in terms of the damage share as they knock down this tower. And on the Viego, a different look for him, but not playing as aggressive, but playing a lot more for the setup, and it's paying off beautifully.
It is, and the fact is, again, like his team is doing a lot of the work in terms of facilitating the resets. Of course, good catches from Kareem, good early game so far, and oh, hold on.
Speaking of catches, that's 2, and whenever there's a throw, there is a catch, my friend. Asim Gio wants to catch everything. Execute, stays alive, the Moonfall. Unfortunately, will not get it, the Moonlight Vigil, sorry. Yeah, won't get much more, and DOS is the next target. Ronaldo knows he can burst him down. He has to flash over the wall. That is 3 kills in an unprecedented manner.
It is just a complete stomp. We talked about setup, catches, team fighting. The way GamersOrigin are able to set up these fights is so clear. We're getting Smiley. That lead that Exekick has is not a big deal. His job is to open up the curtain, get the setup here for Vizicachi to follow up with the ult. And Ronaldo, who is just hyper, mega, ultra, giga accelerated right now, will take care of everything else.
Super mega giga accelerated.
Yes!
And we were talking about in the early game as well, we were saying, although Exekick had the advantage, although he was doing really well, Smiley didn't need to be ahead.
Ragnar.
He was the setup ADC, they're fine, they can't catch him. But yeah, it's like, he's a setup there, right? He need to open the curtains. He wants to be able to be there to control the train for his team. So the fact that he lost early doesn't really become a factor. As, you know, LDLC will take what they can get in terms of this dragon. It's not a hack stack dragon. You know, probably the
individual stats are nice.
Exactly, yeah. Probably the strongest one you can get in terms of just a single one. But past that, not much more they can do as, oh, shocker, it is a Cloud Drake.
You know what? You know what's really funny? I didn't tell you this, but I was looking it up before getting ready to cast with Mark yesterday. Yeah. So the 2 most common souls we've had in the LFL, by like a decent number, actually is Cloud and Infernal.
Told you.
Yeah, like it is actually, I knew I wasn't crazy when I thought like we just saw so many Cloud souls. So there you go. Cloud and Infernal.
See, it's one of the human's biggest strengths is pattern recognition. And once we've seen it enough times, that it becomes so ingrained within our body, and this is a pattern I personally don't enjoy, man.
You don't enjoy?
I don't enjoy.
You don't like Cloud Soul?
I mean, I don't mind Cloud Soul.
No, but that's fair. But like, what about Infernal Soul?
I think Infernal Soul is cool as damage, but I personally want Hextech Soul. It makes games exciting. Remember when you had Hextech Soul?
I love the gates, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Remember the Hextech Soul between the LDLC and I believe it was a BDSA game where they had like just all the plays being made with the gates with the Alistar.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that. That was great. Yeah, that's why I like the Soul.
Exactly. But we'll go with Cloud Soul as we see GamersOrigin continue to accelerate and move faster across the map. It's not just
nice.
the Cloud Soul, it's just their momentum and pace as they get one turret after the next. Mid now under the threat as top looks to be pushed in by Ronaldo.
You know the interesting thing about the Cloud Rift that like people don't talk about as much? Like I'm sure people know by now, but it's the fact that because of the fast movement through jungles, and I thought that's what you were going for too, whereas you can rotate around the map a lot faster moving through the jungle just because of the speed boost. So if you, especially for GamersOrigin, who are very clearly all about more of the grouping, you're going to have some people in the side lane. You're going to have Ronaldo pushing, Vichachi pushing, but when you see opportunities, it is about rotating over to the mid lane or to whatever lane the play is happening here. So this ends up being kind of nice for GamersOrigin. His engine wave, he just doesn't care. He's looking.
Oh, he wants to get onto Yike, and Das actually matches in the middle. He just slices the bread through the corners and not able to get any of the crust. Did that make sense to you?
I might have to watch the VOD because I feel like I missed something, but we'll go with it for now.
Sure.
Engine wave definitely missed the Zenith Blade. I think we can all agree on that.
That's true.
Yes, but ultimately the pressure is done. The pressure is there. Damage is done. GamersOrigin, they have so much control over this top side of the map. They have control over this game, and I'm gonna be honest. Even though we saw LDLC come back from this very same situation before, it's not going to be easy as last time, because the last time they did this, they did have an easier to execute composition, even though it wasn't still easier than what GamersOrigin had at the time. But they have a lot of their work cut out for them, especially with how strong Ronaldo is at the moment here. So the big play is for LDLC is, do you get a shockwave? Does DOS get a really good charm there with the quickness? And that's really the only option you have. Ragnar, very quiet this game, despite what we were talking about, despite his top performances on many different kinds of champions. So far, nothing really on the Aatrox.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten the opportunity to side lane, actually. He's been on his own end of the map every single time he chooses to go down to catch a wave because he physically can't push past the vision line. Look at the bot side of the map. It's dark, albeit for both teams, but still, he knows that there's always a threat of GamersOrigin potentially collapsing upon him, considering he's not as tanky, he can't 1v3, and he will not be able to heal through all the bursts that, especially if, say, Ronaldo Smiley come down against him, right? He has no armor, either no death stance, so it becomes very, very tough. We wanted to see Ragnar become the side lane threat that we saw last time against Geo, but for now, just they can't establish that pressure point on the map, and LDLC are simply waiting for an opportunity, like you mentioned, trying to find some angle where they might see Geo slip up, but so far, GamersOrigin have been playing immaculate.
Yeah, LDLC, very few angles to play for, as you say. They are going to need to break out the most accurate protractor that they can find, as they are just struggling to clear out vision, even in their own jungle, and you can see it. DOS, every time he's playing the Rakan squishier than your traditional engaged support, and that actually ends up playing really well into what Ronaldo wants to do. You see him walk up and you think, hey buddy, what are you doing here? You can't, and they force him away. What does that mean? Look at this. Ronaldo keeps poking around, he keeps doing all this harass, and what that means is you just buy time for the team to be able to go for the Baron.
Speaking of which, TB coming in from Ica. They want to try to lock this. Now we were saying this might be an angle where they can get a big shockwave. As you to the other end, Ronaldo's, like you said, looking on the backside. There's the curtain call. Immediately onto Ike, he has to flash. They have to get away from this here beatdown. And even Yike and DOS might potentially be caught. I'm not going to land. Look at Ragnar on the other side. He wants to find an angle in. There's a Crescent Guard. Under Vichachi, a lot of damage. Because look who's in the middle of the fight. Ronaldo. Shockwave not going to land. And then Vichachi with the re-engage. They want more. The knock-up as Ragnar finally gets a chance to pop into the fight. As Wave says goodbye. The big, beefy man puts out the World Ender and shuts down GamersOrigin.
How do they keep getting away with this? Again, in a perilous situation. Win out the team fight off of what GamersOrigin were trying to do, the turn, and not actually finish up the Baron. So now Smiley, who's the last man standing, has to slink away and take this consolation prize that is the Dragon. LDLC find themselves back in the lead, back in control, and once again mounting an insane comeback.
And we say this time and time again for LDLC, right? Like you said,
why do they keep doing
they keep getting away with it with these like super small leads, these interesting fights, and which is why we praise them to be one of the top teams in the league because of their very not easily executed compositions, but well done.
The thing that's tough here is that I think they spent a little too long on the Baron. You don't have fast Baron take because you have LeBlanc and Jhin.
Yeah.
So that you should play to turn sooner so that you can set yourself up really well. But you can see it, the whole load is blown. Very little CC left. Yike goes in to separate the team, and that's the angle that they need. The quickness, insane move from DOS. As soon as that distortion comes through, Ronaldo is charmed, loses most of his health, and the rest of the team is able to go in. And once Ronaldo's out of the fight, this is a very different game for GamersOrigin. In fact, it's a game they're no longer allowed to play, and you see it with how the rest of the fight plays out.
Oh, yeah, they keep doing it again and again here to beat that. Now, Korean KT, he wants to try to get Aika. The reset could come in. Oh! Shield at the last second, the potential turn, but they can't find a second knockup. Korean KT gone. I was going to say that I'll hold for a couple of seconds. Ronaldo wanted to pop. The second curtain call with the shield from Yike would be more than enough. But in the previous fight, Korean KT actually couldn't get into the fight. No resets, so Ragnar held him off the entire time. Really well done by him as well.
Right, no pops, no resets means no fight for GamersOrigin, and now they have the LDLC have the Baron buff ready to go, and you can see it. They're pushing out all these waves. Ragnar finally getting the split push like we were looking for here. Is at that 2-item mark and is very strong, especially with that black cleaver coming through. It feels like no one is able to punish LDLC in these side lanes so far, and you can see it. They're playing very respectfully. They know, okay, everyone's off the map. I don't like where this is going, so they end up going and backing off. And what that means is GamersOrigin find themselves in a really tough spot all of a sudden here, because now they lost a lot of gold. LDLC are in an astronomical lead all of a sudden, and even with all the damage Ronaldo's doing, it just doesn't matter. And I like what Kareem was going for here, but I mean, he's 4 levels down on Aika, and Aika had a lot of help from the rest of the team.
Yeah, to be fair, if it was the 1v1, he might have been able to get it, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Viego's easily strong. You thought maybe if he lands down one more blade of the Rune King, then that potentially goes his way, but very, very close overall. We were talking about Korean KT before, about he set up one of the carries, more so setup, but him not getting his share of the lead does definitely mean him being this far behind. He needs to rely on his team to get everybody else low enough. He can't frontline right now. He can't be looking for the resets. He has to come in later on and then potentially snowball further from there. GamersOrigin had the lead for so long as LDLC completely flip it back around as the ornaments now come through as well. This is a very nice turn and potentially what Geo need.
Could be. I mean, Ronaldo and Smiley both going to get their mythics upgraded there, so there's a nice extra bit of damage in the pockets of the damage dealers of GamersOrigin. So how GamersOrigin wants to play the game is still very possible for them here, and it's still going to be about finding these clutch CC angles. Smiley opening up the curtains. This is Chachi getting a big knock-up with that call of the Forge God and the rest of his kit as well. And if he's able to do that, GamersOrigin can win these fights. But part of the thing is still on Ronaldo. A lot of pressure actually on this player we highlight as very good on the assassin picks. And a good amount of the wins GamersOrigin have are when he's playing these sorts of champions. And now he has a chance to do it again on this LeBlanc. He has to. He has to try and take someone out, like Aika, like Exakick. DOS would be fine too.
Exactly. All options available to you. Next second comes up another minute as both teams are here a little bit early, I find. I was about to say, LDLC probably is going to go for his resets, but do Geo want to fight this? This is interesting. Baron is also up in 2 minutes, and no real waves are pushing into the favor except bot side. But even at a neutral state, as Wave gets caught, it's a lot of damage on him. But Vizichachi stuck by himself.
He keeps getting CC'd.
They have to go back. He has to rush over the wall to survive, but
they're going.
Yike wants to go back
now
in. Wave is dead. It's just far too late. The Horn will barely even be a whistle as that flies away.
Man, and it was just too late. You could tell that Vizichachi wants to hold on to that ultimate, look for a better angle here, a better setup, but he wasn't able to do it, and they lose the fight in the process. He calls the Forge God too late, and they aren't going to be able to get that soul point here. Like, we're here at 30 minutes, and now it's very realistic to start talking about the Dragon Soul, especially for GamersOrigin here, but they're still falling further and further behind. LDLC, though, not going to have as easy of a time being able to just go for the dragon right away, because you still got to respect Ronaldo here. He's very powerful. He's very close to that death cap, 8 stacks on the Dark Seal. This LeBlanc is insane. If you're not careful, you're going to get one shot. And, speaking of...
You're getting one shot.
Oh, yeah, DOS might be done.
Okay, they're fine. They get the shield. He's fine. He's able to get away. That's what I love about Rakan, the non-committal engage, right? Suddenly you go back and you say, hey, I'm here, and you saw it.
Yeah.
Immediately just like that, he's out. and a lot of plays being given over. But that's one thing we were talking about before. That's a cleanse.
Oh,
that's so
no, that's not good.
Yeah,
oh, what? What?
Okay.
What?
All right, that's ADC. Okay, suddenly, now we want to go back in again.
Shockwave is up.
Ornhorn not going to get anyone, though, but look at how Techie Bizachachi is. He's in by himself. All of G are walking away. They're leaving him to die. No beats at it. Now they continue to re-engage. They thought they had it, but the exact same fight happens again, the exact same plays.
And Ronaldo wasn't there. The rest of the team walked away, as you say, and it means it's going to be easy for LDLC to start running them down. As soon as that call to Forge God comes through, as soon as Chachi is not able to CC any members of LDLC, they're very happy to pull the trigger and keep it moving here. And this was a good angle, too, because we talk about how badly Ronaldo needs to be taking out Exakick. And if he goes 1-for-1 with the support like he did in that situation, or actually it was with Kareem. So then you do have an opening as GamersOrigin, but without Kareem, it seems the resets aren't coming through. It's harder for Geo to be able to snowball here. And you're going to see it. Exakick wanting to pressure a lot, but I mean, this is a bit of an ambitious play, I got to say, because you knew Kareem and some of the others were on this bottom side of the map, but he actually ended up getting the 1-for-1, which I'll give him credit for.
For sure. I mean, that Moonlight Vigil, especially with the Inferno, right?
Pretty nice.
Considering he had purple and blue, I think, I had to call that Who Were You?
Yeah,
because you get erased.
That's pretty good. And I mean, you see the rest of it. Chachi's gone. No more front line. Engine Wave might be tanky as the Leona, but not tanky enough in a 4 versus 1. And now it's LDLC constantly winning out these team fights, constantly getting these leads, and now this deficit is like, it feels like another lifetime. It feels like it was in games past, because now they're up 5K at this 30-minute mark, and we're getting to this point in the game where, of course, the second Baron is ready to go. Or actually, I think it's the first. No, it is. Someone did take it, so it is the second Baron.
It is, yeah.
And we're at this point where if you ace GamersOrigin cleanly, LDLC could look to end the game.
This is why we praise LDLC. This is why we keep saying, although there are some shaky games, but they are unequivocally a top team in the league, and it's for these reasons exactly where they keep coming back as Geo start up the Baron, potentially.
I like this. They are actually doing it, but I think they need to play to turn sooner this time around, especially with Vizichachi not in the most opportune of positions here. But it's looking like they are just going to back off, and they don't really get anything for this attempt. LDLC are just looking to push the mid lane, have Ragnar push the bot lane, because they know the Baron take it slow. They know how much it costs for them to 2v1 the Baron, while the rest try to play interference. GamersOrigin was a nice attempt. They aren't even going to be able to get that, but something like that kind of play might be their, or probably will be their only way back into the game. Trying to get an angle where you can try and rush the Baron, but you have to play for turn because, again, Jin LeBlanc, not great Baron take.
No, not at all, and that's the overall downside of the composition, right? You have to go for the burst, you have to find the most opportune angles to make sure you come out on top of these team fights, or else in extended team fights, LDLC will ultimately win with the Aphelios, with, and especially with the Aatrox as well.
Yeah.
And now that he has GA, he can fight for literally forever. His Q cooldowns are now, I think, at around 3 seconds. So he can keep knocking you up one after the next, and getting those empowered autos with a heal. Geo do not want to be in that position, not even in the slightest. So they have to position very well and play more so around the division, as we see that is in favor of LDLC currently around that Baron.
You're seeing some Grievous Wounds come up here on GamersOrigin side. The Thorn Mails are starting to show up, and it's going to be necessary because of what you're talking about, the healing that Ragnar is going to have, especially now that he's gotten the Death Stance as well. When he gets critically low, I mean, he's running Last Stand too. All this extra damage and healing he's going to be able to get for himself is going to be super, super impactful in these team fights. So he is someone they have to worry about now, because now he's level 18. Now he's 4 items deep, and he still has that Gore Drinker to play with, the active and the GA. He's a problem. He is a nightmare. He is the world ender.
Indeed. And I like that a lot. That's such a cool.
It is, yeah.
It's just
that's why it sucks when you use it to run away.
You're not a world ender, you're a bedwetter.
Oh my god, Exakick!
Oh! Man, I know Exakick wet his bed after that suddenly. That's a jump scare if I've seen anything. And now, yike, has to fight away Endwave, who's far too tanky, gets locked down. If he dies here, that is a Baron for Geo, and he just might. He gets a small shield, and he gets out alive. Now, him living is crucial there, but the Baron is already gone. It doesn't necessarily matter, and now Geo can finally threaten the base of LDLC.
No, it's a big deal, though. If GamersOrigin end up getting the ace, they win the game right there and back, just like that. They're back in control. This is what we keep talking about. Ronaldo taking down Exakick. He ran through him like rice paper. This dude disappeared, and that's the power of this incredibly fed LeBlanc, and really coming to fruition here. Now, as much as LDLC want to try and hold them back, they have to be careful. If Ronaldo gets the angle, if they get one more, Geo can push for the end.
I mean, Doss is looking for angle to potentially go for an
oh wait, Ragnar's off his back!
Like you said, he wants to go back in to catch an engine wave. Vizichachi doesn't have Ornhorn up in a couple more seconds.
Oh, now they
want
want
be
it.
able to turn it back around. Karim KT lands a stun. Ronaldo cannot find the pop either. And all of Geo running away. Engine wave will likely be the sacrificial target, but they can't get on him. They can't land enough damage, not enough CC, and Geo walk away for free.
And there it is. They get the inhibitor. It's extra gold in their pocket. They are going to lose the soul point here to LDLC, and that Dragon Soul could actually be, I think, really impactful on this team, because think about the movement speed you're going to get from the World Ender, from popping the quickness. Things like that are very much a big deal for LDLC. So now this is a win con they can play for. We are looking at probably a 40-minute game as long as things keep this pace. And now it's GamersOrigin looking for picks. The strength of this composition, just trying to burst people down, get Kareem some of these resets.
You mentioned how Kareem was a little bit behind. He's a little on par with the jungler, but
not anymore.
Still very, very strong.
Oh, he's good.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm sure he's feeling very confident with his homies by his side, right? You know, he got the whole squad rolling up.
That's right.
All of them dapping one another, saying, all right, let's go bless. Let's go let's go take more of these towers here, fam, because I'm going to need my 6th item. Ronaldo, okay, not able to find the chain, actually, but he zones away Ica enough that as of right now, you know, they should be able to capitalize on it. As
here we
get
go.
Opened up. There's the Ornhorn, knock up onto 2. But there's a re-engage from Yankees. He finds a knock-up on the Vizichachi. No CC landing it all, but they need to stay alive. They just need these 2 cannon minions to stay alive to take down this tower. But more than enough damage from LDLC to make sure that does not happen. As they take down the second, but the second wave is coming in.
Still, I mean, 2 big team fight ultimates off the table here. The only thing you really have for engage now is that solar flare.
Only to 1, the Crescent Guard, knock everybody away. The re-engage from GamersOrigin. Vizichachi super low. Kareem KT has to run away. A shield is nice, and Ragnar can't find anything else.
One more auto.
Smiley. Ooh, a clutch shield from the Orianna, saving him.
Man, what a tight game. GamersOrigin
Nice edge.
Very much in control at the moment. Even with this gold lead, it really doesn't matter with Ronaldo coming in so strong in these fights. And you can see the TP is coming through. Vizichachi is back. He has that Ornhorn. GamersOrigin, if they wanted to, could push for the end of the game, but they are going to back off. They aren't going to rush this one. They know they have a chance, and they don't want to throw it away.
No. We've seen this happen a lot of times before, right, where they see blood in their eyes, the end of the game within their hearts, but decided not to capitalize on it. There's the Ornhorn.
Oh, he's
Lons
dead.
enter Ragnar. That's the GA. A shockwave onto 3, but no one's there to follow up.
Oh, he's still in ult.
The Gore Drinker is huge. He gets half his health back.
That's 1. He's
the
resetting.
Slam down. The resets continue forward. That's more than enough healing. Vizichachi wants to zone them away.
Oh, they're going to end the game.
There we go. You don't want to go for it. The TP from Aka. He's riding out the base. He wants to stop the recalls as Yike puts the Crescent Guard, and he'll get back there in time. They'll open up the base. Ronaldo might be dead. He wants to get Yike at least to knock him. He stays alive. He can't.
He's no mana.
He has no mana. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
Are you kidding me?
Nobody. No one's coming to your savior. No one's going to help you out. As Kareem KT is the last one left alive, he's going to lose his wife and then lose his life. By the end of it, the Ruined King is ruined. LDLC, do it again. Are you kidding me?
How do